Matt, it was such a busy weekend. Goodness, we had a new Money in the Bank winner. Someone's got that briefcase. We have a new NBA champion. We have a new U.S. Open champion. Huge episode of Game of Thrones last night, too. I'm still reeling from it. And on top of all of that, the iHeartRadio MMVAs took place in Alex's new adopted hometown of Toronto. So a big night, a big day, a big weekend. We're not going to talk about any of it. Hit the music. That's right, folks. This is the Triple Threat Podcast, talking about all the stuff that happened a couple days ago. I'm Will Vaughn. I'm in Vancouver, BC. Matt is over in Halifax, and he's going to say hi when I stop talking.
Hi, I'm in Dartmouth South.
Oh, okay. What's your, are you...
I'm just calling Halifax Dartmouth South.
If you can tweet to Domino's to get a pizza, can you podcast to Domino's to get a pizza?
That'd be great. We just put up an episode that's just titled, cheese and pepperoni on one side.
Yes, one side.
Extra cheese, and then the other side, sausage and green pepper.
Yeah, please.
You're thinking you'd be able to do that, and if you tagged it in them, they'd do that, and hopefully they would have the driver listen to the podcast on the way over.
Domino's checks they comb the entire internet to see if anyone's talking about Domino's Pizza, and they show up at your house whether you want them to or not.
There's like, okay, look, we have a problem. I'm the president of the International Domino's Association. That is the Domino's game that you use the black and white objects.
Yep.
We keep having pizzas coming to our events. We can't pay for them anymore. It's not our fault. It's too much pizza. It's entirely too much pizza. And we need to get this rectified right away. So Domino's, stop crawling the internet.
Please.
Because we just want to play our game in peace.
How do you play Domino's? Do you know how to play the game, or do you just know how to set them up and knock them all down?
No, I've played a variation on it. I actually own a set for called Mexican Train.
Ooh, humble brag.
Yeah. I didn't. It's a Christmas gift, and I actually really enjoy it. But essentially, you line up the.
I meant it humble brag.
You know how there's like the numbers are different on each, like, so you'll get one domino that's like 1 dot and 1 dot, and you have one that's 1 and 2.
Okay.
So, like, if you had one that was 1 and 2, the next person could play one that had either a 1 or a 2, and they can go in either direction with it.
Yes, okay.
So it's a whole thing. So Mexican Train takes that, but explodes it further, so you can go up to like 16 dots, or I think 12 dots.
12 dots.
And you kind of go from there. Anyway, I've played it before with my in-laws, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Did you win?
I think I won once.
What's
that? If I don't win at a game, I usually don't want to play it. I told my wife. My wife taught me crib, and I was like, okay. If I don't win in the next 5 times we play this, I never want to play crib again.
That's the big parody.
But I won.
Right? Is crib? Oh, you won.
Yes, I did win, which is good. Which is good because I don't have to show off how much of a dumb baby I am.
A dumb baby.
Well, I mean, it's kind of stupid. I should play crib till I.
Babies are pretty bad at crib.
Well, I mean a baby more in the pejorative sense of like crying at sporting events or something like that.
Great, meaning larger amounts. We're using it in the pejorative sense. Yeah, I know what you mean. Crib, yeah, that's the one, eh? Crib, yeah.
So, well, I know we're in a good mood. I just found out some breaking sad news here as we start the podcast.
It's terrible. It's awful.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
this is not a joke. Yeah,
no, Anton Yelchin died at his home.
Couldn't believe that.
Yeah, he got hit by his own car when it was.
There's some
break on.
He was 27.
He's super young. Did a lot of.
I'm 27.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Well, he's he's part of the 27 club. I just realized that. Although his
kind of a weird way to go with that.
I know,
but a really talented guy. Really,
awesome.
Like every performance I've seen him in, he was always interesting. Like he never didn't give it 110%. His Chekhov was fun.
Was fun. He left behind a huge body of work, and he has a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe that's not even out yet. In addition to the new Star Trek movie, I actually saw the guy a bunch at IGA near where I used to live, because the IGA where I used to live next to was next to a hotel where everybody from out of town would stay. Actors from out of town would stay there.
Right.
If they're doing a movie or doing a show, because they have hotel rooms, but they also have one section that's more like apartments. So they have like stoves and kitchens and that sort of thing. I'd see him at IGA a bunch, and he was just seemed like a regular dude. I mean,
yeah.
And I thought he had he would have gone for it forever. He would have just gotten better as he got older. But he was an excellent actor.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that, like, if you could have his career that he had, but spaced out over 20 years, that'd be a good career.
That'd be a good career for anybody.
Maybe not 20 years, but it's a lot. Like, fairly prolific.
10-year career, basically. Alpha Dog was like 06, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in there's one like Charlie
Bartlett.
Yeah, is that the one with Robert Downey Jr.?
I think it might be.
At the beginning of whatever we call Robert Downey Jr.'s Reconnaissance?
Yes.
He's I think, another one of those actors that deserves the Reconnaissance title, right? Robert Downey Jr.?
Iron Man brought him...
Not to deviate too far from Anton Yelchin.
It's fine. Iron Man brought him back.
Yeah,
from the brain.
Definitely.
Well, I suppose before there was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too.
Yeah, there was kind of a wave that was cresting that Iron Man really got him a lot of goodwill. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because
we have to mention it. Yeah,
there's some celebrities that die, and you're like to give an example, someone like Muhammad Ali dying.
Yeah,
Muhammad Ali was just kind of like a historical figure, but he's also someone's like his public life was already over. Largely, there was nothing that Muhammad Ali was going to do to add to his story, which is fine.
Which is fine. He
people don't have
just
to.
Kind of shows. I think he showed up in Pittsburgh a few times during the Stanley Cup final.
Did he really?
I think
he died pretty. He died before the game was over. The series was over.
Yeah, but
I think it was earlier
during the playoffs.
Okay. But someone like Anton Yelchin, like he's got some in the tank right now. He's got some in the can, literally, with movies. And for him to, it's a classic dying young thing. It's tragic. It really is tragic. He left behind people who loved him. Obviously, people love all sorts of people. It doesn't matter how old you are when you die. But it's a career that's unfulfilled. And right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure he didn't want it to end the way it did.
It was just a freak accident at his house.
Yeah.
And
life, man.
And then that's it. But he seemed to be be a young guy who's had his head screwed on straight and just did some excellent work. So he'll definitely be missed and will be remembered for the next little while.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek Beyond comes out in a few weeks. I mean, it's going to be...
it comes out soon.
That'll be dedicated to him for sure, right? Like, it'll be... I don't know if it'll be a title card, but it'll definitely be at the end, at least.
Yeah.
I would think. You kind of have to, right? I mean, he's in it.
And then, what do you think moving forward? I guess you just don't have a checkoff there. I mean, you can't replace him.
It depends where the movie ends. I mean, from what I've seen from the trailers for Star Trek Beyond, it's pretty interesting, right? So I think Star Trek has a fairly familiar kind of formula, but they don't seem to be sticking with it too hard or too tightly. So, I could see they could go in a number of directions. They could have Chekhov die in the story off screen and kind of remember him there. That could be something that pushes them forward for all we know, right?
That could be one way to go. Or if he doesn't, we don't know if his character survives the movie yet. But if it doesn't, then I think you can just leave him be, and then maybe in the next movie talk about how you lost him.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I'm just.
I don't know. Yeah. How sad would it be if they killed him off in the movie?
It would just be,
but not intentional, but like it was just the way that they drew it up.
Coincidence or what? But
it'd be painful to watch, though.
It would be.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like I thought they were going to do that for the Fast and Furious 7 with Paul Walker.
Yeah, but
I was waiting the whole movie for him to die, and I'm really glad he didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Because the end of it, as bad CGI as it looked, was preferable to me being like, "Ooh, is he going to die now?"
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I thought they did the best they could with what they had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Paul Walker, that's another tragic accident. Like, it's not due to drugs or alcohol or anything.
Yeah. I mean, excessive car speeding, probably.
Yes, you're right. Like,
but I mean, it's still
reckless behavior, but not like...
It's different if he was drunk driving or if he was fighting with police or something, right? But, and when you're doing something innocent, I think it was even like a car show or something like that.
They were showing off a car to car. Yeah, it had like bald tires or bad brakes or something like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's tragic.
So this is bad, yeah. So, we'll definitely remember Anton Yelchin. He's going to have that asterisk by now for everything. And hopefully this, it's probably going to cause me to go back and watch a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek, he was 27, and yet still did 3 Star Trek movies. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it is.
That's a remarkable career.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him. But I couldn't. It was you're scrolling through your phone. You're like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I heard it from my roommate said that, and I'm like, really? And then you go and double check it, and
yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
no, it's bad. Well,
he was just in Green Room, which is a movie that people really liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you want a really violent movie, I hear good things about Green Room.
Is it violent?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Tough game. Tough movie.
Tough game. Yeah.
Tough game.
We didn't give our boys in the black and gold their props yet.
No, we did not, man.
So
awesome.
Belated congratulations to the Pittsburgh
Penguins. Steelers. Oh, sorry.
For winning the Stanley Cup for the 4th time in their history. And Sidney Crosby wins the Conn Smythe.
It's first ever Conn Smythe for Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, last time they won in 2009, it was Evgeny Malkin.
I wish they would do the award show thing where they're like, this is the first time Sidney Crosby has won a Conn Smythe trophy.
I think the commentators would have mentioned it, but
I know. But I mean, like with that soft voice and everything like that. It's his first nomination, his first win.
First win for Sidney Crosby for the Conn Smythe trophy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to talk about some truculence. You want to talk about a journey. I mean, he said so himself. He's like, look, I made the final twice when I was younger, and I just kind of assumed I'd be there every year. And you take it for granted, and then, he went through a lot of stuff. And by stuff, I mean
lots of medical stuff, man.
Yeah, the stuff you find in a cat's litter box. He went through some stuff ever since the concussion, and just been kind of riddled with injuries throughout his career since then. We weren't really sure what we were going to get, and I think it just caused him to be a smarter player.
Yeah, and he had to change his game a little bit. It's still impressive and still wholly his own, but he does play a little bit differently now than he did when he was a younger pup.
Yeah, when he was younger, he's always been he's never been a goal. Even though he scores goals, but he's never been a goal scorer. He's always been a setup guy.
Yeah, very capable with the puck, very capable of scoring goals. Great shot.
Yeah,
great release, great speed, great backhand too.
Yeah, he's just smart. He's just a smart guy. I don't know how else to explain him. I'm very happy he kind of has risen to prominence again when so many people counted him out.
Oh yeah,
over the years.
I gotta say there was a little bit of reluctance for some people regarding his Conn Smythe candidacy. People were a little bit unimpressed with his win.
Okay, yeah,
because some people thought there's other people who deserved it, and I mean. The problem is, you look at people playing hockey, and often people just look at the stat sheet, right? They look at Phil Kessel, leading scorer in the playoffs, just want to give him the Conn Smythe, but that's not all you do, right? Like it's not all you do on the ice. We've seen lots of goal scorers in leagues that are able to put up the numbers, but when it comes to playing hockey, they're a liability defensively, or they not good teammates. That sort of thing is relatively common.
Yeah, I think it's great that Phil's got a cup now, though.
He's got a cup. I mean, yeah, you like be grateful, right?
And you're not taking anything away from Phil to say that he doesn't deserve a Conn Smythe. You're just saying that if people just point to the numbers, there's more to it than numbers.
Yes,
something about captaining your team through these playoffs.
And I have to say, like with the Conn Smythe, I'll be honest, there wasn't anybody who was really heads and shoulders above everybody else. Could you give it to Matt Murray?
I thought Matt.
Yeah,
could have. Yeah, I thought
could have
played
for sure
really well. I mean, he was such a big reason they won.
But he wasn't like a Tim Thomas when Boston won the cup. Like when Tim Thomas won the cup, it was
dominant. He was
huge,
dominant, especially at home. He just embarrassed us.
Jonathan Quick, same thing.
Yeah,
absolutely, like lights out.
I think when you got Matt Murray in there. Because I think the Achilles heel for the Penguins, and I like Fleury, but he's just a little like, and being a Canucks fan for years and years, having Bob in there, especially in the playoffs, loved Bob, but it's just like a little bit every time, it's a big. You're just like, you just don't want him to get shaken up too badly, too early, because then he can't really come back from that.
The one guy who believes in Roberto Luongo a little less than you is actually Roberto Luongo.
He's got such a great sense of humor about himself. Well, it was so funny this year to see both
definitely.
him and Corey Schneider at the All-Star game.
Yeah.
As a Canucks fan, you look at that, you're just like,
how
about that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, real happy for Sid. He's one behind Johnny Taves now as far as cups go.
Yeah. Oh, and they have a great team that has a really solid core.
For the past 7 years, it's been the same core.
Not even that, though. They actually have the depth going into next year in a big way. Guys like Rustin Sheary.
Yeah.
They'll lose Cullen, and they'll lose maybe somebody else, but nobody major. They probably have to move Fleury before Las Vegas gets a team. Because otherwise they might just lose them for nothing. It depends.
Las Vegas,
they might get somebody else, but... One other thing I wanted to say about the Penguins and that series as a whole is that it was kind of nice to get a series in the NHL that wasn't reliant on super hot goaltending the whole time. Sometimes you go into a series and it's just like it's a goalie duel, or you're just thinking, oh, these goalies will never be scored on.
I thought it was a pretty low-scoring series, though.
Low scoring, but the Penguins' style of like the speed, the run and gun, if you come at us a 3-on-2 on our end, we're going to turn it around and we're going to have a lot of guys going up the ice. Get a better 3-on-2 on your end, like that kind of speed. It was fun hockey to watch. I saw some people on my feed. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine who's a Flyers fan was like, "Oh, this hockey is not very good," and I was like, "I'm having a blast."
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
even if it wasn't the Penguins, which that's totally doesn't matter what I say about that because it was the Penguins.
Yeah,
even if it wasn't the Penguins, I would have loved it. Yeah, I got no proof of that.
I always like the final. I always like watching the final, but also it had that extra zhuzh of Pittsburgh doing it, and I do.
Yes,
I do, and I don't feel bad for San Jose. It's just so tough for Joe Thornton. Just like, man, how many times is he going to get that close and just not, and just not get it?
I really liked. I had a few people. It was 3 guys came over on Sunday night to watch it last week, and it was a good time. It was really fun to watch it with that crowd.
Yeah,
better than watch it with yourself, by yourself.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even get to talk much about Gordie Howe passing, did we?
No, actually, I could have used him in the example I used Muhammad Ali for, but that's okay.
Yeah, they seem to be like kind of a 1-2 punch there.
Yeah, no pun intended on both ends there.
That's right. Yeah.
Speaking of punching in elbows,
the infamous Gordie Howe hat trick that his wife made famous, which was what was it? A goal and assist in a fight?
Was that something that she said?
She made it up. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty clever too.
Yeah, it's clever. It's a fun little non-stat,
Yes, it's cute. It's cute to use in highlight reels, things like that.
Right? It's like it gives them the Gordie Howe hat trick. So Las Vegas has been awarded the team.
Yeah, kind of unofficially, but kind of officially.
And the NHL becomes the first professional sports franchise, besides the XFL, to have a. But to have a team...
That's an asterisk.
Yeah, that's a major asterisk. It's a big X. To have a team in Las Vegas in the T-Mobile Arena. By the way, shout out to Tim Spadell and Squared Circle Clothing. Yesterday, he repped hard at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, so I know he enjoyed himself quite a bit there.
Oh, was he... What was he there for?
He's at Money in the Bank.
Oh, Money in the Bank! I have some friends who went there too. Joel and Daniel went to check out Money in the Bank. They drove from Saskatoon.
Really?
Yeah, they're hardcore guys.
That's
Daniel
awesome.
Daniel went to SummerSlam last year in
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, yeah. He left like 2 days after his wedding. As part of his honeymoon, his wife went with him to wrestling.
That's awesome. We gotta get him on the podcast so I can finally talk about wrestling again.
Oh sure, yeah. It's very, very exciting stuff.
Yeah. I'd sign up for that.
Yeah, how do you think Las Vegas is going to do with hockey, Will? I don't think they can rely only on tourists.
No, I really don't know. I've never been to the city. I don't know enough about the city to speak, truthfully on it. But it's another team in the middle of a desert. But they got, I think they got enough interest. They got enough interest. I don't know. I'm going to have to wiki this here. .org. They got enough interest.
Are you specifying it's Wikipedia.org?
It is a non-for-profit. Non-for-profit? What?
Non-for-profit.
It only can
Wikipedia
do as well.
Is.
Yeah, it can only do as well as you say so. So Reno still have minor league teams. All right, let me see if there's.
What are you looking up right now?
Okay, so prospective owner Bill Foley.
Okay.
secured more than 13,200 season ticket deposits. So he's got interest. That's
now,
good.
Do they have it Winnipeg style where they have deposits and they're going to have people who are in for 3 years at least?
That's a good question.
Because I think that's a good thing for your early stability.
Yeah.
Because if you're locked in for 3 years, it's a bit easier to commit to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It said within 36 hours beginning the drive of season ticket deposits, they had 5,000.
Okay.
So the stated goal became 13,000. So I don't know. We'll see. I would like to think that there should be another team. Like they should do 2 more teams, which is a lot.
33 teams?
Well, what would the other? Because there's 30 teams now.
There's 30 teams now. 31 makes Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You could move.
So I would do like one. I'd like to add one more, like expanded team in Quebec City.
Yeah, you could move to Quebec, or you could be, or you could just have a team in another team in Toronto is an often recommended one.
Southern Ontario, right?
Yeah, put another one there. I don't know if Hamilton has the juice for it, but
I think probably. I mean, Ontario's just stupidly hungry for hockey. Stupid in a good way, by the way, Ontario.
As long as it's just hockey and not just not Toronto hockey. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, as long as they actually want hockey and not just the Maple Leafs. Which is an issue people say. Sometimes people specify, they say, hey, there's a difference between they love hockey or they love the Maple Leafs. That came up actually when they hosted the World Juniors with Montreal a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Because there was talk of, I don't know if people like it. It's like, well, the tickets are expensive as all get out, man.
As heck, yeah.
They're real bad.
I wonder how much the World Cup tickets are. I just wish, Matt, that we had someone we can contact who lives in the city of Toronto.
Yeah.
That could give us the lowdown on this stuff. But, hey, unfortunately, we're just out to lunch, pal.
Yeah. We're out of luck. This week I feel a little bit bad because I feel like Alex could have... Alex could have been on the podcast if scheduling worked out a bit better.
That's okay.
I'll take a bit of the onus on that one.
We can't bust his chops too bad.
Yeah.
So the expansion sites, and we've talked about this a ton, but the expansion sites in Canada would have been Quebec City gets mentioned because it has a Videotron Center. I think Metallica opened that up.
Beautiful. I've talked to a guy who plays there, who plays in the Videotron Center, and how much he likes.
If you look at the Videotron Center, it looks like what was Wally's buddy in that movie named
Eva?
Eva. But I'm ruining a possible segue right now, so I'll stop talking. I
wouldn't worry. Don't worry about it.
You don't worry about that. No. So it's Quebec City, Hamilton. The GTA, which is Toronto.
Yeah, and, Markham is often a target there. They say
Pro Surface build a multi-purpose 19,000-seat Markham, Ontario. What would you call the team in Markham, though? It's not a.
I've heard all sorts. Well, you would call them the Toronto. I've heard Toronto Legends or something like that. Toronto.
It just sounds like you'd get just a bunch of old guys.
I know. Yeah. It does sound like it would be like Daryl Sittler.
The other one you might be interested in, Matt, of course, is Saskatoon.
Saskatoon would be interesting
because Saskatchewan doesn't have an NHL team.
No, that's true.
They're underrepresented in our country. I think those fine prairie folk.
Saskatchewan has a population over 1 million, which is newish.
Yeah,
relatively new. They produce a ton of hockey players. It's really rare to look at a Stanley Cup team. Or any team in the NHL in the last... Yeah. At least, like Chris Kunitz this year. Some other guy, I forget who else. But yeah, at least Chris Kunitz. I think Zakhoff maybe, but I might be... No, he's American. Never mind.
Well, even Saskatchewan kind of looks like an NHL rink, doesn't it?
Just yeah. You could put the end down by Swift Current. You could have one of the hash marks.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you could up by Uranium City, you'd have the other net.
Yeah, because the whole province actually freezes over. A lot of people don't know this. The whole province freezes over in the wintertime.
Yeah,
and just becomes the biggest hockey rink on the planet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's right.
The whole province.
Yeah.
So those are the Canadian sites in the United States. Yeah, Las Vegas, Seattle's one that I'm interested in. Obviously.
Seattle seems like that was on the people talked a lot about Seattle actually during this whole Las Vegas Quebec City process. I don't think there was actually a formal.
Nothing formal. I think Boobs is part of it though.
Who? Sorry,
Buble is part of it.
Oh yeah. He wants.
I think he's part of one of the. I think he's just an investor. He's just interested.
He's a West Coast guy. He's got his Vancouver Giants.
But Seattle's a big city, and they got a big appetite for sports too.
Oh yeah, man! Seahawks are evidence of that.
Huge sports appetite. I mean, they're ravenous for the Seahawks, and
ravenous for the Seahawks.
Yes, yeah. I saw a guy yesterday with the old school Ravens logo on a leather hat. He was wearing it backwards. It looked really cool.
Amazing.
A leather hat sounds weird, but it was like kind of the cool.
Like the one that Farouk used to wear?
No, not that. Yeah, not
I was thinking some sort of cool Nation of Domination hat.
Yeah, not the Ron Simmons hat. And Houston and Kansas City, the other two.
Houston, I would need to be convinced they're interested in hockey.
Yeah.
And Kansas City is similar.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, I don't think Houston actually has an AHL team anymore because I think they moved to Iowa.
Because he used to have the Arrows, right? Well, that's where Gordy used to play there. He used to play there.
Yeah, in the WHA.
In a big bad way. And then they, in a big bad way, I like that. And then they, left. It's part of the history of teams coming and going. Well, they're saying that Carolina could move.
I've heard that. People think Carolina should go to Quebec City. But everybody thinks they should go to Quebec. Everybody thinks everyone should go to Quebec City.
No, I should go back to Hartford.
No, I don't think
go back. Bring back the whale. Bring
back the whale.
Bring back the whale. Anyway, the one city that's not going to get a team, unfortunately, is Halifax. But they got the herd, and they had some good high draft picks this year in the Q draft. So here we go. We're only
1 and 2,
maybe a year or two away from another Memorial Cup, dude.
I'm a pretty big proponent of getting a CFL team here sometime when we have the right infrastructure for it.
You want it, hey? You want it in Halifax?
Oh, I want it bad. I feel like a pro sports team in Halifax, if it catches on, would be nice for the city. Really nice for the city. I could see people getting really into it.
I agree, but I think it's just a matter of making it happen. There's unfortunately so few things in Halifax happen. There's a lot of talk, and I always feel like Halifax is on the outside looking in on so many things. And
that's so much of that has to do with the people in it, though. I mean, people in the city need to. There's definitely. I don't want to go political here. There is a defeatist attitude in Nova Scotia, I think, a little bit,
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but there's a sense of we can't do cool things here. You have to go to Alberta to get a job, that sort of thing. The more you buy into that, the more true it is, right?
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. I live in Halifax. We're in a place that's gonna I feel there's gonna be some good tech opportunities here in the future.
Yeah,
it's a decent startup culture. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be Silicon Valley North or Northeast, but I think, guys, we just gotta believe in ourselves. It's a fun city. There's a lot going on. I just found out about a restaurant that focuses all on different kinds of meat. It's called Primal. I never heard of this before.
Primal Halifax.
It's off Spring Garden Road.
I think
they serve goose.
Food is a good way to go.
Halifax has great food.
Keep working the tourism thing too.
Yes, definitely.
Which is going to be a big, especially now that the dollar's so far down. You want it to, we got tourists on the ropes. We just got to finish them off. Here you go, beef short rib, craft beer braised. Of course it is. Oh, yeah. So
okay. let me give you a sampling of the
primalhfx.ca, folks. If you're looking for some, it's good looking stuff.
Goose, frog, marrow, tenderloin, short rib, duck, venison, boar, hog, hen, chocolate.
Chocolate. Yes.
Chocolate's easy to get to. Oh, ostrich charcuterie.
Ostrich charcuterie.
Ostrich charcuterie.
Yeah, so any voice actors out there, if you're looking for a tongue twister to warm up with, ostrich charcuterie is a good way to go.
Yeah.
My goodness, yeah, look at all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff, yeah. Okay,
well, it's a lot of stuff.
Put that on the list for when I go back.
Yeah, definitely.
Ian Hamlin, friend of the show, was just there. I wonder if he went there. He was just in Halifax.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if you visited Primal. Okay, Primal, yeah. So vegetarians apparently need not apply, but that's okay.
Oh, certainly not. The logo is a lion.
Aw. Oh, by the way.
Yes.
So Leo,
your lion.
My little lion. He is now, folks, he's now on Instagram.
Oh, boy. He's
Leo_Lannister. And any Game of Thrones fans will...
Forgive me, is Lannister with 2 N's?
It was 2 N's, yes.
Okay, I'm not a big Throneser.
So the reason I chose Lannister is because each family in Game of Thrones, each house, has what's called a sigil, which is, their logo, right? If they were a hockey team, they'd wear it on the chest. The Lannister sigil is a lion, and I felt that Leo, he looked very very lion-esque with his ginger coloring and his copper eyes.
Well, he's private. What's going on?
Oh, is he a private user?
He's private. So, I mean, hopefully Will could fix that before you hear this, but as it stands...
My roommate runs the account. Actually, Leo runs the account. He's very private.
Oh, okay.
So my roommate runs the account. I'll get her to fix that up.
To work it up.
That's probably why no one's following. Okay. So you can send a request. If it's you, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Leo approves. Gosh, speaking of animals above land, there's also, man, a lot of animals under the sea.
Under the sea. I'm actually going to... So I told Will before the podcast I had 2 movies to review.
Yeah.
At least talk about. It's not going to be boring by any stretch of the imagination. I
can't promise that.
I can.
Okay.
I'm dedicated to
That's
it, to
right.
making exciting things. So the second one will be Finding Dory, which I saw on the weekend, Saturday night.
Yeah, that was my excellent seg right there.
The first is a movie that I saw on Thursday night, and I'm going to see if I can get Will to guess it.
Okay.
It is a sequel.
Star Trek?
No. I'm trying to think what's another. It's a sequel that is set in London and Macau. Partially, both those places.
Okay.
It is not Skyfall.
I was going to say.
Which would totally fit that category.
Yeah. Because I know you've
One
seen
of the
Skyfall,
original actresses was replaced.
Okay. From the sequel previous? Oh, is this Now You See Me Too?
Yes. Nicely done. I don't think I gave you that much for that one.
No, because
there wasn't a lot to work with.
What's her name was in the first one, and then What's her name's in the second one. Just kidding. It's
Isla Fisher
and Isla, whatever. Will, you idiot. Isla Fisher and then Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, she was busy having Borat's baby.
So I'm not familiar with the Now You See Me series, but I was probably one of the not alone people who was surprised that there was a sequel to Now You See Me.
You're not big on the Now You See Me verse.
I'm not big at I have no
the magic
problem.
verse.
I have no problem with it. Well, I do think it's hilarious that Daniel Radcliffe is in the sequel.
Oh, definitely.
In a movie about magic.
It is outrageous that they do not make a joke about that.
Yes,
I think they should have. No, they should have. It's such a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
That they didn't have him do that.
So let's give us a mini review of Now You See Me 1. So you enjoyed Now You See Me 1 enough to be like, let's check out the sequel.
Not exactly.
Now You See Me 2? Okay.
No.
Did you win passes? Is that what's up?
No. Did
someone make you go?
I had a friend who was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the movies."
Go to the movies.
His dad was in town, and he was like, "He's like, we're gonna go see Now You See Me 2," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I had seen Now You See Me, I guess, at home. I don't remember. I definitely didn't go to the theater to go see the first one.
Okay.
So when I got in the car with him and his dad and his friend, it was like his dad was visiting from out west, and I was like, "So who's the big Now You See Me fan?"
Okay.
That's when I found out his dad was a big fan.
He's a big fan of Now You See Me.
Yeah. So the first one, one of the things I remember from the first one is that they try really hard to make you think that magicians could be this famous.
Yeah.
That carries over to the next one because there's a part where they announce the show they're going to do on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it's as if Beyonce and
Beyonce too.
Well, yeah, like if 3 Beyoncés were equally famous.
Rihanna. Come on, Rihanna's famous enough.
But they were just on December 28th, they're like, we're going to do a show in Central Park on New Year's Eve. Okay, obviously a stupid idea location-wise, but somewhere huge and people are going crazy. So that's part of it is why are people getting so excited about this? The other part is when you see them, most of their routine is just 4 people on stage with headsets
being like,
just talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Magic!
Or they're like, what's up, everybody?
Woo!
Did you know about this person? We're going to do something crazy. So it's like, that would not be that good a magic show to see.
It would not be that 1 second here? I need to let some folks in. Literally.
Oh, sure.
The folks. By the way, happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Oh, yes. Something we didn't mention before on the podcast is Will, time of the recording, but time you hear this, if you listen to it right when it comes out, our parents are with Will right now. They're hanging out there. They're with them. I'm going to be going to pick them up later on Monday after work. I hope they have some sort of BC chocolate there. I can hear my mom and my dad very faintly in the background. Couldn't forget those voices.
No, it's fine. No, it's okay. He's reviewing a movie.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, I got.
You got some guests?
I got some friends. Some friends. We're recording right now.
There's Dad. Hey, Dad. You're on the podcast. How you doing?
You can say words. This is going to be really creepy if you don't say something.
Mom's saying hi. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, there's Pops.
Hey, Matt. Good to see you, buddy.
So,
hey, man. Happy belated Father's Day.
He said happy belated Father's Day.
Oh, he can't hear me.
Sorry, I missed you yesterday.
I got my, The thing is, Matt, if I put like the speakers on,
it
feeds back
I realize.
in a big bad way.
Yeah.
Use the term big bad way. We'll be quick. We're just talking about some movies right
quick.
now. You can go see Leo. You can go subscribe to his Instagram account.
So is this the podcast I've heard about but never listened to?
Whoa.
Okay, all right.
That is stiff, sir.
I think we call that ice cold. Or even savage. I've heard people call things savage. Like that.
This guy's still...
Savage.
He's still patting himself on the... Ooh, yeah. He's still patting himself on the back for Father's Day yesterday. He's still... He couldn't get over our kids, by the way. He lost his mind. Yeah,
huge.
He loved it in a big, good way.
Good way.
Magicians on stage being douchey. Sorry, say douchey.
Sure.
Douche.
Now you see me too.
Yeah.
Watching the movie, I was like, oh, this movie thinks I'm a huge fan of the first movie and that I remember any of these characters.
Yeah,
because Now You See Me also had Michael Caine, and it had Morgan Freeman,
That's right.
Mark Ruffalo, like a good cast.
Everybody from the Dark Knight and the Avengers series.
Yes, surprisingly good cast.
Yeah,
because the movies aren't great, but they're good. They're good popcorn fun. The second one I might have liked it a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, there's the ridiculousness about how excited people are about this show that is happening on New Year's Eve. One of my favorite parts of the movie is that the FBI is following the team, like they're trying to get them because I guess they broke the law.
May I interject with a question
Please.
that I may have already answered?
That's okay.
So they're magicians, so they do tricks, but do they have like unnatural powers too?
Okay, so I thought at the end of the first movie, I thought during the first movie they make it pretty clear like they each have different skills.
Yeah,
but no one's a witch or a wizard, right?
Yes.
Like that's not the level they're at.
Except for Harry Potter.
Yeah. Who's, by the way, does not play a magician. He's just a person.
How do you not make that joke?
I know. It's really terrible.
That's insane.
He plays a very rich guy. But in the first movie, someone reminded me that Isla Fisher, at one point she like just conjures up a cloth that flies in the air, and it's like, well, that's not possible.
That just doesn't.
But the movie will have people do things, and you'll just be like,
what a magician.
well, they'll explain half of it, and the other half you'll be like, it was just CGI.
Yeah.
So there's that. So one of the things I like, so the FBI is chasing these guys, but they're in London. And so at one point the FBI has a mobile field van.
Yes, in London.
Yeah. And I just leaned over to my friend and I was like, how did that get there? Why is that there? And there's a couple times where people, the FBI, they're like going into places and like, freeze FBI. And if you're in England, I would just be like,
freeze FBI.
No.
Nope. Nope.
You're in the wrong place, guys.
Wouldn't it have to be Interpol? Like Interpol has.
They would have to be Interpol, or they would have to work with Scotland Yard. But that is not how it worked. Or even Metropolitan Police of London, I would get. But no, FBI Mobile Field Unit, clearly labeled on the side in Piccadilly Square.
We have to. So does the Mobile Field Unit? No, I don't know if that works.
Would they ship it in? Would they have it on a plane, like a helicarrier? Or a jet?
They have one van parked in every country in the world, just in case they get to fly in and be like, all right, take us to the van. Oh, we haven't been here in a while. It's an old one.
Oh,
all right.
Why do we have it? Oh, it still has tapes.
Oh, no, it's a standard. I don't know how to drive.
Like,
Does someone drive this? Yeah.
Like people should.
Where was the steering wheel? That's my question. On the FBI mobile van.
You just saw the back, I think.
That would have answered our question, because if the steering wheel was on the left or the right, we'd know if they flew it in or if it was like...
Amazing. Anyway, so that was my favorite. That's part of the movie that I'm just like, I think the writer forgot this was in London.
Or they just were like, no, it's a fun popcorn flick, no one will notice.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. That's Now You See Me Too. It was fun and fine and whatever, and...
It's fine, yeah.
There's a fun sequence in the middle involving throwing playing cards.
Okay.
If anybody's seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. I think that's, I don't know if I'd go pay and see it. but maybe you would.
Okay, so
sneak
get some maybe pay and see. And before you get to this next one, I just want to say my roommates checked out 10 Cloverfield Lane, and they were very tripped out by it. So
nice.
It's a good sign.
Did I mention on the show I showed my wife that movie?
What'd she say? She was like, "Oh, it's good."
I told her a lot about it before because I thought she wasn't going to see it. So I was like, "Oh, it's so cool! Like this part happens, and then this happens."
I did the classic thing, right?
Yeah.
You got to check anytime you tell somebody about a movie. It's like, "I'm gonna. Are you going to see it? No. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, you got to make sure.
For 10 Cloverfield Lane, I was just thinking like, but then I showed her and it was great. So, John Goodman is so good in that movie. He needs an Oscar.
He's so good, man. No, he is, and that's
so
like,
good, man.
Like I keep saying, like it's going to be on the list at the end of the year of everyone being like, no one seemed to watch this movie, but it was really, it was really good. I'm looking forward to more Cloverfield movies in that kind of universe. So here is another thing you saw, Matt.
Yes,
the sequel.
Yes,
in the Finding series.
In the Finding series, I called it Finding Nemo 5 times before I got to the theater.
Dory, he kept calling it Finding Nemo.
Yeah. I asked Emily, I was like, if I call it Finding Nemo 2, do you think I can get a ticket? Hey, give me a ticket for Finding Nemo 2.
If you said, can I get one for $5, and they sell you the ticket right there. If you start saying $5, you don't buy from. Wait, do you still walk up to the people and buy it?
I often have passes, so yeah.
You often have passes.
I often have
Listen
passes.
to this. This guy's humble bragging like a mug. He's got a Mexican Domino's set. And he gets passes often.
I often have passes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Finding Dory.
So I'm often talking to people. Finding Dory. Before Finding Dory, they had the short before was a short called Piper.
Yeah.
And I would say the CGI in Piper is so good. I would actually describe their style of animation as photorealistic.
Frightening. Okay.
Not in a bad way because it's wildlife.
Because they don't Pixar does a fun thing with people where they make them still cartoony looking.
Oh, very fun cartoony. These people.
Yeah, they don't make anybody try to look like a real person, which is where they succeed.
Piper, the style they do a lot with focus. Yeah. So there's a lot, as if there's a little camera on the beach watching these things. Yeah. And it does a really good Pixar short thing where it tells a story, it uses no words, you see character development, and it's interesting.
Okay, good.
Pixar, these short ones are so good.
And the long one. Well, how's the long one?
The long one, in front of it, Finding Dory, I enjoyed. Yeah. I remember when Finding Nemo came out, it was in that time, and I think a lot of people can identify with this, where you become a teenager and you're like, I don't want to watch cartoons.
Yes, for
those
kids.
Are for kids. Those are for babies.
For babies. For people who can't react well to losing in sports.
Yeah. So people liked Finding Nemo, but I didn't really care for it. Didn't find it that interesting. I watched it with all the way through Sincere, Give It a Shot, like a couple years ago, or maybe a year or two ago, and really enjoyed it. I was okay, this is good. I thought it would be a lot more slow than it is. It's not. It's very well done, really well paced.
Yeah.
Finding Dory has the tough task of expanding this forgetful character into, as a main character of a full length movie.
Yeah.
But Andrew Stanton, who directs it, does a great job with it. He did. I think he's also so talented.
He's Andrew the voice Stanton. Of what's the turtle's name?
I can't remember the name. Gnarly, I don't know, something like that.
Oh crap!
The turtles, yeah.
I'll look it up.
But yeah, so Finding Dory, the next in the Finding series, which I'm realizing after seeing the movie, it's not really properly named.
Yes, because she's not lost.
It's not about.
She's trying to find her family, isn't she?
Yes, yeah. And she gets separated a little bit though.
Yeah.
But I mean, the things to know for this movie is Dory's in it. Marlin and Nemo are there the whole time, as well.
Oh, good. And Nemo's okay. He doesn't drift off or anything.
No. He's kind of. It takes place a year after Finding Nemo, so Nemo's still kind of pushing Marlin a little bit to be a little bit more
adventurous.
Yes, to kind of get over his issues that he has.
Yeah, Crush. That was his name.
Crush is in the movie. Just to be clear, Crush is in the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the list of names.
Don't look at all those spoilers in there.
I know. I got spoiled actually just now. But if you look at all the names, it's just all just crushers.
One that I will tell you. I don't think it's much of a spoiler, but one I was like, is that Sea Lion Idris Elba? Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
See, that means Idris Elba has been in the last. I think what I saw was the last 3 Disney animated movies, which would be Jungle Book, this movie,
yeah,
and he's the chief of police in Zootopia.
Oh, he is.
He's been in 3 Disney animated /live action movies in like 4 months.
My roommates saw Zootopia too, and they said it was great. They rented it on our Shaw box, and I didn't get a chance to see it. And I'm actually like a little bit upset about that.
Oh, you haven't seen Zootopia yet, eh?
No, I got to crush it. I saw a guy buying it on Blu-ray at the grocery store yesterday. Nice. Also yesterday, I was buying a bottle of wine for my Trones, and there's a fella with his...
Is Trones Game of Thrones?
In Spanish, yeah, in Espanol. Okay. And he had his cans in, and the cashier at the liquor store was like, "Hey, man, listen to anything good?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's a podcast, true crime podcast." And he was like,
"Oh, which one was it?"
I think
did you ever hear
True Crimes or something? Yeah, he said, it was really interesting, man. The cashier's like, "Oh yeah, here at my friend's place," and then I come up and I got my cans. But I take them out when I order something.
That's that's the polite thing to do if you are able to.
I think so.
I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
But the guy was like, "Hey, do you listen to any podcasts?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually going to go record one right now." So
nice. You got huge cred, man.
I got big cred. You should
ask
what it was. But if you find anyone who asks what it is, Matt, you just tell them it's the Triple Threat Podcast. And that was it for this week because I'm leaving my folks out there with my roommates.
Oh, you got to go. Finding Dory's good. Check it out. Now You See Me Too is okay.
Kidders are good. Follow Leo on Instagram at Leo_Lannister. We'll make sure that's not a private account. Follow me on Twitter at William C. Vaughn. I'm on Instagram also at William C. Vaughn.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at MP Vaughn. I got tweeted at by the government of Canada. They thought I was Toronto MP Adam Vaughn, who has a very different Twitter handle. But I welcome all his constituents to my Twitter feed to get your load of, movies, Catholic stuff, music,
I love it.
Sports.
Yeah.
Terrible jokes I think are great.
Yep.
That's it. So come on. Adam Vaughn's constituents, come on board.
Yeah.
It's a big train. You're all invited on. It's huge. It's a fantastic train.
Oh, no.
Everybody loves the train.
It's not a bad Trump, actually.
They love it.
I know. He's a horrible man. But
my wife hates my Trump. She thinks it's good, but she does not like it for reasons that are probably evident.
That should be obvious. And Alex is on Twitter at Evonix, EVAUGS.
He will be back.
And he will be back.
And Nick, when he's back with you, I have a game for you both.
Good. Okay. So we'll be back next week. And I'll tell you how we'll be back next week, Matt. We'll be back next week in a big bad way.
Oh, baby.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Peace.